them well, let them lead the way. So many innocent children walking life without direction. Give them a sense of purpose. Let them see their potentials inside. Imagine a world where all children become what they were created to be. Talents are incredible gifts that we all have. When I was a young girl, at a point when my parents were poor, I used just one school uniform for so many years. It became torn and very old. My friends would laugh at me in class. They would call me all sorts of insulting names. I felt bad with myself, and I lost my self-esteem. And to cover up the shame I always felt in this uniform, I would always wear a sweater every day on it to school, despite the hot weather in the hottest sun. Around that time, we were preparing for the 40th anniversary in my school, and I was selected to sing amongst the school choir. When the teacher announced to us that the dress code is just the school uniform and I cannot put my sweater on it, I looked at her and, oh my God, but I had a plan. When we got on stage to sing, I went right to the back of the choir. I was short, nobody would see me. But then my plan failed. My teacher brought me forward to take the lead of the song. As I stood in front of the audience, I looked down. I felt embarrassed. I didn't like the way I looked. And I sang looking down all through. I managed to look up when I finished singing. I looked around and I saw people standing. They were smiling and clapping their hands. Immediately I started looking around me. Who are they clapping for? And then people behind me, the choir, were also shouting my name and everybody was clapping for me. For the first time in my life, I could feel the happiness springing out from within. I smiled. I grinned from the left cheek to the right cheek. I was happy. A similar experience happened when I was an undergraduate. There was a refugee camp beside my campus. I visited the place and I saw a lot of orphaned children from Liberia. When I saw these kids, I remembered my childhood. They didn't have good appearance and they looked unhappy. Immediately, I decided to start a charity project. I wanted to help them solve all their problems, to meet all their needs. But then it occurred to me, I didn't have money because I was just a student myself. Every evening, I would walk to the camp, sit around with the children. We would sing, we would clap, we would dance. I allowed them to be free. And at those moments, they were always happy. And it did not matter to them if they had taken breakfast in the morning or not. It didn't matter to them what they had on. They were happy when we sang together. A friend of mine invited me to sing at a business seminar on campus. So I decided to invite my kids to go with me so we could sing together. As we stood on stage again, I saw these disapproving looks on the eyes of the audience. I looked at my children. I knew I've been there, and I smiled at the children because I knew that their appearances would not cloud the beauty of their voices. And then we sang. But guess what? Something happened. Before we finished singing, about half of the audience were in tears. Some of them had their hands covering their face. Some stood up with great surprise, looking at those children like, what? And by the time we finished the song, we got a standing ovation. And I looked at my children as they were jumping and laughing and happy because the whole crowd was clapping for them. The same happiness I felt in my childhood, I saw it in them. As we walked out of the stage, we received a sum of 40,000 naira. That's about $250. which the audience had donated when we were singing. My life changed that day because I thought to myself, when I met these kids, I saw needs, their problems I wanted to help them solve, but I didn't have money. But then something happened. The money came. How? Because of talents. And then it occurred to me that talent can actually be used to solve the problems and the needs in our life. And our appearances is not all that define us. We have the beauty from within. These experiences led me to start a non-governmental organization named Spring Africa. I want to empower young people, school dropouts and street children to connect to their inner self, to identify and unleash their potentials. I want them to have the capability to solve their own problems and also to make constructive contributions in their communities. Let me ask you, whenever you come across street children on the road or school dropouts, what do you see? You see their needs. You see children wearing tattered clothes. They are supposed to eat. They don't have food. Problems. Needs and problems. I see creativity. I see talent in these children. 10.5 million children are out of school in Nigeria, according to UN. And majority of these are living in the northern Nigeria. In 2016, Spring Africa is going to start its operation in northern Nigeria, in the communities, with the concept of having an open center for street children and school dropouts to come in freely, focusing on basic education and talent development, using storytelling. These children will share their stories, and they will turn it into different arts, like songs, music, dance, drama, paintings, drawing. Also, basic education will be made practical in their lives. Mathematics can improve their business activities. Communication skills will improve their interaction with people on a daily basis. Talent development will boost their self-esteem. Based on the interest of these children, they are going to be enabled to pursue their dreams. Now with focus, they know what they want to do with their life. Some of them might decide to go back to school. Some of them might say they want to go to music school. Some might decide to go and learn a trade. Some might want to go into business. Whatever they want to do, we want them to know that they are limitless and they can be what they want to be in the world. I see an Africa where every child is an indispensable citizen, maximizing their potentials towards personal development, community development, and national development. As you walk out of this hall today, into the streets, when you walk into your neighborhood, wherever you go, I want you to imagine two things. One, the potentials in every child that you see. And two, the transformation that could happen in their lives. If you and I will care enough to help them unleash their potentials. Thank you.